LinkedIn Sales Navigator is an advanced tool by LinkedIn that will help you to target the right prospect that will be within your ICP. In this video, how you can filter out the right prospect to target according to each filter, I will teach you that. So let's start. The first filter is account revenue. You can filter the company revenue according to the currency, and you can set a minimum revenue to a maximum revenue. So you should use the annual revenue filter in Sales Navigator when you want to qualify or segment companies based on their financial capacity. In other words, how much money they make every year. The annual revenue filter in Sales Navigator helps you find companies that can actually afford your product or service. It tells you how much money a business make each year so you can focus on the right target instead of wasting time that have no budget. So for example, if your SaaS product costs $2,000 a month, it makes sense to reach out to companies making over $5 million per year because they are more likely to afford it. You can also group your outreach by company size, smaller companies for your basic plans and the bigger ones for premium offers. So when you see a company with high or growing revenue, it usually means they are expanding and open to new tools, marketing or software. But if the revenue is very low, they are probably not ready to buy yet. Now, the second filter is company headcount. Now, using this filter, you can group your target companies into a range of various employee counts such as 1 to 50, 11 to 50, 51 to 200 employee count and so on. So you should use the company headcount filter in Sales Nav when you want to find businesses that matches the size of your ideal customer. It tells you how many people work at a company, which helps you understand if they are a small startup, a growing mid-sized business, or a large enterprise. So for example, if you sell a tool that helps sales team manage leads. Now, if you target companies with 50 to 500 employees, makes sense because they usually have dedicated sales and marketing team who need such tools. But suppose that if you have targeted a smaller companies with fewer than 10 employees, might not have enough people or budget to buy your product. Make sense? So, and if you will target very large companies with thousands of employees, they might need a very complex enterprise solution. So using headcount helps you personalize your outreach. For a smaller companies, you can talk about saving time and cost, while larger ones, you can focus on scaling efficiency and collaboration. So if you'll talk in short, you should use this filter to make sure you are reaching the right companies that has the right stage of growth for what you offer. Not too small to afford it and not too big for your current capacity. The third filter is company headcount growth. Now you can set a minimum to a maximum percentage of the growth. So when should you use this filter? So you should use the company headcount growth filter in Sales Nav when you want to find businesses that are growing fast and likely to invest in new tools, service or systems. This filter shows whether a company's number of employees is increasing or decreasing, and that tells you a lot about their situation. If a company's team size has grown 20 to 30% in the last few months, it's a strong signal that they are hiring, expanding, and have more budget to spend. For example, if you sell a product or service that helps manage onboarding or productivity, targeting companies that are rapidly hiring means your solution fits their current needs. Growing companies usually face challenges like managing a new staff, scaling operations, improving marketing, or automation workflows. So if you are a recruiting agency, then also targeting companies that are rapidly growing will land you clients. When a company's headcount is growing quickly, it means they are actively hiring and expanding teams. Exactly this kind of businesses that need help of finding and onboarding new talent, a new employee. So these companies are often short on time and internal HR capacity, so they are more open to outsourcing recruitment or partnership with agencies to speed up the hiring. For example, if you see a SaaS company that has grown from 50 to 80 employee in the 3 months, that's a clear sign they might need a recruiter for sales, tech or marketing roles. So by using this filter, you can spot fast growing firms before they even post dozens of job openings. You can reach them early and position your agency as a partner to help them scale efficiently. On the other hand, if a company's headcount is shrinking, it could mean that they are cutting costs or struggling financially. So they are less likely to buy right now. The fourth filter is headquarter location. So you should use this filter. You should use this headquarter location filter in Sales Nav when you want to find companies based in a specific country, a state, or city that fits your business goals or service area. It helps you narrow your search to businesses operating in regions where you can sell, support, or communicate easily. For example, if you are a B2B SaaS company that mainly serves clients in the United States, Canada, or the United Kingdom, you can filter companies headquarters in those regions to ensure that your outreach matches your time zone, language, and market time. This filter is also useful if your offer works better in certain economics like targeting US tech startups or Indian IT firms. Now, the fifth filter is that you can use this industry filter. There are 100 plus industry you can choose from. The industry you can choose is recruiting, software, airline, aviation, and there are tons of other industry. Depending on the ICP you want to target, you can choose. So you should use the industry filter in Sales Nav where you want to focus on companies that belong to a specific market or niche your product serves best. This filter help you narrow down your search to businesses that actually need what you offer. For example, if your SaaS helps with cybersecurity services, you can target companies in the IT, finance, or healthcare industry because they deal with sensitive data and must follow a strict regulations. If you run a marketing agency, you might target industries like SaaS, real estate, or e-commerce depending on where your past clients have seen the best results. Using the industry filter also makes you outreach more personalized. You can speak directly to their pain point and use examples relevant to their field. For example, your message to a tech company would sound different from the one you would send to a manufacturing firm. The next filter is the number of followers. You should use this filter in when you want to understand how popular and established a company is on LinkedIn, and this will help you to adjust your outreach strategy accordingly. A company's follower count shows how strong their brand presence is and how engaged they are with their audience. For example, if you are a B2B SaaS company or agency, targeting companies with a higher number of followers like 10,000 plus often means they are well established, have active marketing team and may already be investing in content, ads or growth tools. On the other hand, companies with fewer followers like under 1,000 are usually a smaller or newer businesses that may not have a strong online presence yet, making them ideal if you sell branding, social media or growth services. This filter is also great for segmenting your prospect. You can use different messages for well-known brands versus startups just building visibility. The next filter is department headcount and department headcount growth. There can be many departments inside a company. The number of department depends on how big the company is. So there are 20 plus department filter available here. You can determine the number of employee in any department and also department headcount growth per department. So you should use this filter in Sales Nav when you want to find companies that have a strong or growing teams in a specific area that matches your product or service. This filter shows how many people work in department like sales, marketing, engineering, HR or IT and how fast those teams are expanding. For example, if you sell a sales automation tool, you can target companies with large or growing sales teams because they are more likely to need your product to manage leads efficiently. Similarly, if you are a recruiting agency, you might focus on companies with a small but fast growing HR team since they are probably overwhelmed with hiring tasks. This filter also helps you understand a company's priorities. A business increasing its marketing team is likely to focus on growth, while on one expanding its engineering team might be scaling product development. So by checking both department headcount and department growth filter, you can find companies that not only match your ICP but also at the right moment to buy what you offer. So the next filter is fortune. So you should use the fortune filter in Sales Navigator when you want to target large, well-established companies that appear on the Fortune 50, 100, 500 or 1000 list. Basically, the corporations in the world. This filter helps you find organizations with huge budgets, a structured buying process, and long-term growth potential. For example, if your SaaS product is built for enterprise-level clients like CRM system, cybersecurity platform, or HR software, using this filter ensures you reach companies that have the budget, teams, and decision-making layers to afford the benefit of your solution. It is also useful if you are sell consulting, automation or marketing services to global brand, because Fortune listed companies usually have large scale operations and company constantly look for the ways to improve the efficiency. So on the other hand, if you focus on the startup or a small medium sized businesses, uh, this filter may not be necessary since those businesses won't appear in this list. So in short, you should use this fortune filter when your product or services aim to enterprise clients and you want to focus your efforts on high value, globally recognized companies that can sign big and long term deals. Now, the next filter is hiring on LinkedIn. Now, you should use this filter in sales nav when you want to find companies that are actively hiring right now. A strong sign that they are growing and they have budget and might need help with managing that growth. So this filter highlights businesses currently posting jobs openings on LinkedIn, which can reveal a lot about their priorities. For example, if a company is hiring for sales, marketing, or engineering roles, it shows they are expanding those departments. Perfect time, and this is the perfect timing if you sell tools or services and that help with recruiting, onboarding, or productivity. So a recruiting agency can use this filter to find clients that clearly needs hiring support. While a B2B SaaS company can target fast growing firm that might benefit from automation, training, or workflow solution. It's also a good way to spot companies that recently got funding or are scaling operations. In short, use this filter when you want to focus on growth stage companies, the ones investing in new talent and most open to buying solution that helps them scale faster. Now, the next filter is recent activities. And there are two options in the recent activities. The first is senior leadership changes in last 12 months and the funding events in the last 2 months. So you should use the senior leadership changes in the last 12-month filter when you want to find companies that recently got a new CEO, CTO, CMO, or other top executive, because such companies are more open to change. So a new CMO might be looking for fresh marketing strategies or agencies. A new CTO might want to upgrade software tools or security teams, and a new CEO might want to cut cost or scale faster with better systems. And now the next is the funding event in the last 2 months, last 12 months. Now this filter when you use this filter when you want to find companies that are recently raised money, such as that seed, Series A, Series B, or C funding, because those companies are usually in growth phase and are ready to spend on tools, services, or partners that can help them scale. You can also save any company in Sales Navigator. It can be the company whom you want to follow up and can be your dream prospect. When you save it, you will likely to get notification from the LinkedIn when something changes in the company so that you can outreach at the right time. Hope this video has helped you in learning Sales Navigator account section and how to use it. Now let's meet at the next video.